All right, thanks. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to be introducing our speaker, Dr. Michael Ray Eugenio. Mr. Eugenio is a family man, has been married to May for 20 years. He's grown up in Cerritos and is a product of ABC USD, attending Bragg Elementary, Haskell Middle, and Gar High School. He's continued his involvement with the school district with his 3 children, Madison, Mason, who have graduated from Gar and Cerritos High School. Madeline is a child with special needs and is currently attending Cerritos High School. Her challenges have given great insight into the obstacles families are facing. His love for education has continued, graduating magna cum laude from CSU Dominguez Hills with a BA in physical education in 2000, and then graduating from USC with a doctorate in physical therapy in 2003. Professionally, he is a California state officer and knows safety is of utmost importance. Dr. Eugenio has also served on Artesia's Public Safety Commission. He's volunteered as medical staff for the Gar wrestling team, parent volunteer at both marching bands for Ross Academy and Gar High School, parent volunteer at Elliott Elementary, and the coach for youth flag football and basketball. He also does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Filipino martial arts because he knows it teaches discipline, respect, and hard work. Collecting comics is another passion because he has a love for art and wants to preserve a valuable art form for generations to come. Dr. Eugenio wants all children to get the best possible start in life in a safe and healthy environment with wonderful teachers who will prepare them for the future. He knows that in these unprecedented times, communication is key with parent involvement. He feels blessed to have been a part of this community and now gets to give back even more. So with that, Dr. Michael Eugenio, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me, Artesia Chamber of Commerce. I wanted to add that I am now still a business owner, and so I wanted to actually congratulate all the business owners here for their diligent work, their creativity, for having a business in the middle of this pandemic. I actually had an outpatient clinic in Westminster from 2008 to 2012. So I know the nuances of being a business owner, what you have to go through to even just get the business started, and the creativity that you have to remain open. And for me, that was before the pandemic. And like I said, I want to congratulate all the business owners for their creativity now. Also, I do have a small staffing company. As far as home health, I do see patients in underserved areas. And I only have 2 physical therapist assistants under me. So I'm a small operation. Some of those, the overhead of owning a clinic, it was very difficult, if I can say. So again, thank you all for having me. To all the business owners out there, I know what you're going through, like again said, the creativity that you have to come up with to remain open in these times, and all the guidelines that you have to, the challenges that you have to navigate through. So again, congratulations, and thank you for having me.
Oh, definitely. Thanks. We're pleased to have you. So let's see, we do have a nice collection of business owners here, as well as community leaders. So, I think, well, hopefully we get, robust time for Q&A towards the end of this. But for now, I just wanted to leave the floor open to you to kind of talk about what the district has been doing, especially with school reopening plans. So let's first take a step back, though, and ask. So you mentioned previously to Serena, but also, in your bio that you do have kids in the school district. So yes. Can I ask, just for those who don't know, in Artesia, right, we are in our own trustee area, right? The entire city of Artesia is just one trustee area, which you now represent. What are the schools that an Artesia resident or a student would go to through ABC, through elementary, middle, and high school?
Sure. So if for elementary school students, there's actually a couple schools that are actually in my trustee area that Artesia students would attend. Some of those schools for elementary school, kindergarten, K through 6, would actually include Carver, Elliott. We have Kennedy Elementary, there's Burbank, and also Nemis. but some of those are outside of my trustee area, but those, as far as students in Artesia, those are the elementary schools that they would be attending.
Okay, good to know. Thanks. Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily, even though they live in Artesia, they don't necessarily attend the school physically in Artesia,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
correct. And,
yeah,
as far as middle school, some of the Artesia residents would also attend either Ross Academy or Tetzlaff. I had my middle son attended Ross Academy, and my eldest, he actually attended Tetzlaff. And then if it's high school, they can also either attend Cerritos or GAR. We had a divided home. My eldest, he attended Cerritos, and he graduated 2 years ago. And my middle one, he was actually graduated from GAR, so he was the first graduating class during the pandemic.
Wow.
So it was a different type of graduation, and I believe we will be having an in-person graduation this year, but it'll be limited, which I'm really excited about that, because although we did have a safe graduation last year, it was somewhat disappointing because my son didn't get to experience the typical graduation that everyone looks forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm really excited this year for the in-person graduation.
That's good news. Yeah, I think we're all starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel here, right? Things are coming back. More people are out and about. So hopefully we can keep these numbers low, right? Because last I've heard, LA County is still in the orange tier, right? And we're slated for a full reopening on the 15th of June. That's what the governor is saying, right? So, assuming things stay well. Right on. So yeah, I'm pleased to hear that. I'll just share, my cousin went to, he was doing college, and he was affected by this, no in-person graduation as well. So it's like, it's such a piece of the experience that I think a lot of students are missing out on. It's kind of like, wind is out of your sails. So definitely, I think, people are excited to be coming back. I hope the students are excited. Have you gotten any feedback from, parents and students on what the challenges are and what you guys are trying to face as a district?
Yeah, so
I'm sure people are coming back safely.
I'm getting some mixed reviews. Actually, before spring break, I was able to visit 4 schools. I was able to visit Nemis, Whitman, what else we had? Leal, and also Burbank. So there's a lot of the challenges the different principals have had to go through. For one of the principals actually have 4 to 5 different lunch schedules, just so they can minimize cross-contamination between cohorts. So these are some of the creative thinking, creative scheduling that the principals had to go through, principals and teachers together. And that was something I found interesting.
Ready? So there'll be pizza, chicken, salad, and breadsticks.
Yeah, all right, I think I got the right one to mute. Oh man, I'm getting hungry now. It's only 11:16.
Someone's ordering food. Better include me in that. Better include me.
All right, sorry for that. So I wanted to ask a while back, I think maybe Scott, you can jump in here and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the CDC was saying something like, they were advising 6 feet or something for students, and then they revised it to be closer, right? So do you guys see that that's going to be helpful in having, what kind of class sizes, I guess, is my question that you're looking to achieve? Does it vary based on the location?
Or you speaking to Mr. Smith?
Yeah, it's open for either. I'm not sure about the CDC guy. I think they modified it so that they could be closer than 6 feet.
They did. So the CDC initially lowered it from 6 feet to 3 feet between students, not between students and adults. That has to remain at 6 feet. Okay. And then the California State Department of Public Health and the LA County Department of Public Health went along with that as well. But we were busy setting up all 29 schools to get students back. So we were already in the process, well into the process of spreading everyone out by by 6 feet. So we went ahead and did that. And with the number of students that have returned, it's been more than adequate.
Great. Very good. So it sounds like you guys are already reopened. It was this week?
Happened Monday.
Monday. All right. So we're 2 days in. This is the third day. All right. So
Yeah, our schools TK through 8th, cohort A started Monday. Cohort B, I think, Michael, your medicine is going back on Thursday. So cohort B is Thursday, Friday. For high schools, they have 2 groups. The group 1 get in the same time this week. The group 2 gets in 2 weeks later.
wow. So a lot of logistics that you guys are hammering out. I mean, fantastic. I'm you know, it's a lot of work. I know the school board is 7 members, right? So you guys, you know, have a lot to handle yourselves, and then you have, you know, the staff underneath that are staying diligent. So fantastic. I mean, I used to work with ABC, you know, in my previous role. So I had a little bit of time, you know, to get to know some board members and some staff there, and just have a lot of respect for the team that you guys got at ABC and the undertaking that you're working on. I don't want to just be talking this whole time. I don't want to just give you all of my questions. I think we're a small enough group to where we can open it up to questions here and have more of a discussion format, if that's okay with you, Dr. Eugenio. So yeah, so I'm gonna open up the floor to you guys right now. I did have let me ask one first to get it started. So I did get a question submitted. We've heard of parents having issues sending their kids back to school because of a lack of after-school daycare. Does ABC offer after-school daycare?
To my knowledge, at this time, they do not.
Okay. That said, are there any plans to reinstate after-school daycare? I don't know if after-school daycare existed before pandemic by ABC, but that's the question here. If not, are there plans to reinstate after-school daycare programs?
That's a good question. I'll definitely look into that. Different schools, different plans. So I'll look into that.
Okay, good to know. Thanks. So I'll send that over to you guys so you have it in writing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, let's see. Let's see, Frank, do you have any questions? I'm gonna call on you.
I was just sitting here minding my own business.
I know.
First of all, I'd like to just reiterate and give you my support to all you educators out there. I think you do a phenomenal job. I think you're overworked. The things that you get thrown at you the way you adjust is just, in my opinion, is amazing. Michael, it's really great to have you into the school district. I'm a firm believer of, if you've grown up in an area and then you continue to bring business to the area, I think you have more of a buy-in to the community and a real heart to see things succeed. What is it that us as community, I'm not going to say leaders, but are involved in the community, can help, I guess, combat some of the disinformation that we get from the news that comes out to the parents and stuff? What should we be doing to help cushion some of the misinformation? Is there anything that we can do in that area?
One thing that you can do is I'd like to remain accessible. So after the meeting today, I'd like to give my information so you can actually contact me directly. Those are some of the ways that you can combat some of the mis or disinformation that you may be hearing, word of mouth or even media. So those are things that I'll provide. My cell phone number, personal cell, you can contact me, text me, or you can even email me. So those are ways that you can also combat that. One also is we have the school board meetings every first and third Tuesday where you can call in as well, listen. If you have public comments, you can raise your hand during public comments and ask a question, and also just listen in and gather some of the information that we're disseminating. So those are two things that I can do. again, provide my info, and you can also listen in for the school board meetings for the direct information as well.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Can we get that information from you, and can we put it on our website? I'd like to have it personally because I'd like
Sure.
to hone in on some of those meetings and stuff. The more information that I can have to support you, the better it is, I think, for the school community in general.
I appreciate you, Frank. I appreciate that a lot. I'll provide that information at the end of the meeting.
Would that be okay, Chris, that we can?
Oh,
post it
absolutely.
on-
Yeah, it was one of my questions. I was going to ask him for his contact information. Yeah, for sure. So we'll get that shared out. Of course, you know, if you don't want, I don't want to blast your, you know, personal cell phone number on our website or anything like that.
No.
So we'll keep it to, like, you know, the school.
No,
email
it's okay.
address.
It's what I signed. It's what I signed up for.
Alrighty. You know what, even today, like, you know, I'm just with the chamber, but like I got random people calling me up and I have no idea, you know, how they got the cell phone number. So it's just a thing, right? So if that's what you want to sign up for, we got you on tape saying that you signed up for it.
I will place it on there. Not a problem.
Yeah, I'm giving you a hard time. Serena, yes, you have a question, please.
I apologize. I have to leave early because my oldest got a slot for his first shot. But before I leave, yeah, and I want to go with him. But before I leave, I'd like to give a shout out to one of the pharmacy at Artesia, Medicine Shop. We first heard about this place through one of our parents. And many of our board members start to go with their older parents to get the vaccination. And the feedback that I heard was it was very organized. It felt very safe, very friendly, and it was nearby. So I really like to give a shout out to Medicine Shop at Artesia.
Great. Yeah. Thanks.
The second thing I like to share with our city of the Chamber of Artesia is that at Cerritos High this year, we tried very hard to engage our families given its distance learning. And the one thing we learned was that parents actually really enjoy doing the restaurant fundraisers.
Okay.
And initially we thought, okay, we're high school. You know, we don't know how parents would feel about it. It was very successful in elementary school where Sasha's kids go to at Leo. Parents come out, they really support. So we started experimenting and we learned actually parents are very supportive. So I don't know who is the right person, but if you want to send us local restaurants, because we want to support our local restaurants.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
we love Artesia, a city with such rich history. My little one in elementary school, we used to go to that museum, the old house, where you see how you wash laundry on those board. A very charming 3-bedroom house, a city with very rich history. The city has changed a lot. Now the city has the little Indian village. So we'd love to know who are interested in doing this sort of thing with us, and we'll bring business to you.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I appreciate you're going to give me a chance to do a segue here, because definitely one of our big questions of today is how can we get partnerships between our business community and our school district. And this is fantastic. You know, this is something we'll definitely pursue. We have a handful of members that are restaurant owners, whether they're in Little India, the Pioneer Strip, or, you know, other places throughout town. But yeah, that's fantastic. So let me just clarify, is that through the Education Foundation? I should be reaching out to you.
Cerritos High, PTSA.
Oh, Cerritos High. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I will definitely be following up on that.
And I believe our mayor here has deep connection with that high school, right? I see you at, I think, football games.
Yes, I am. I happen to. I'm the voice of the Dons, as Mr. Walker will call it, and I do all the announcing for the home football games for Cerritos High School. But my godson went through the high school, and I was booster president for 4 years. I'm still active on the board, so it's fun. It's a great place and a great school with a lot of great staff and teachers and awesome students. So
Right on. Well, the more you know, right? I didn't know
Right.
that. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
In fact, Friday night, we are playing against Baldwin Park at Rand Stadium. And it's the team has a small, short season due to COVID, but they're currently 3 wins and no losses, and hopeful to wrap up a 4th win Friday night. And they're 605 league champions, so it's a wonderful thing. And serving as mayor for the city of Artesia, I wanted to interject a little bit earlier. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Renee Trevino, and I am on the city council and honored to serve as mayor. But I would love to see some kind of partnership, maybe a joint fundraising effort with our community businesses, the restaurants. We have a vast number of restaurants in Artesia. And if we can organize something like that, maybe to kick off the school year in September, with the proceeds going to the high school PTA or the school district foundation, that's certainly something we can work on to promote our businesses and yet have the proceeds benefit the kids in the community. So we can certainly work on something like that together.
Fantastic. Yeah. And
Wonderful.
that's what this platform's about, right? It's making connections and getting together. That's what the whole point of it is. So, you know, I'm pleased to see that something tangible will come out of this. You got a lot of great heads here today. So I appreciate the time that you guys have all taken to join us. So cool. Thanks, Serena. Appreciate it. Hope, hope for a safe, experience today.
I'm going to put my email address here so that you can send the restaurant information to us. And
Okay,
we
thanks.
will be happy to support Artesia. We love this city.
Cool. Yes, Mr. Nishi. Ready?
I too have to leave because my daughter also has a COVID appointment. I have no fear about that immunization. She's going when she's eligible, which is in about a few minutes.
Right on.
But I just reiterate the thing about the restaurants. I know that the Leal fundraisers staff up because they are well attended, and a lot of them will generate, the more you give, the more you receive. In this case, definitely, if the restaurant selects a school, they will give and give and give. So it will go round both ways. And I found a lot of brand new restaurants through these. I just went to one yesterday, Aloha Stacks or something, and never been there before, but food's pretty good, and I'll probably be back.
Right on. Yeah, there's so much to choose from. It's a little bit overwhelming, but oh my gosh, a lot of food is so good around here. We're very lucky. All right, Sasha, you have a question?
Yeah, actually, just a comment. I figured I would stay on track with the conversation just about the partnerships with the district. And I know, Chris, you and I, right at like a week prior to COVID shutdown, had been discussing this. But as the coordinator of CTE and partnerships for the district, we are always looking to really support our students with work-based learning opportunities. So in the form of both paid and unpaid internships, and what I like to call micro internships, where students can complete real work projects for local businesses. And even the city, I know Long Beach, the city has a structure where they take on summer interns from the Long Beach Unified School District. I'd love to partner more with the city of Artesia to bring those real life experiences to our students that align with our pathways. Our pathways are anything and everything from auto to biomed to sports medicine, engineering, education, you name it. And so we have a really talented group of students that can really bring some fresh perspective to our local businesses and really support your goals. So if that's an opportunity that anyone on the call is interested or we can explore further, I'd love to discuss that.
Very nice. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'll definitely be reaching out. I'm going to need, to open it up to a couple interns for sure. At least, even at the chamber level, I think we have room for a couple interns here. Yeah. So, and then, we'll definitely, if there's some kind of information that we can share about that program directly to our members, fantastic, even better. Great. Thank you so much. We're just joined by Mr. Gare. How you doing, Ray? Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's nice to see everybody's faces. Wow. All right, so moving on. I did get a question in the chat there's a question, why is there no school on Wednesday? How does this figure into the annual teaching / learning hours for the year? So back to the reopening conversation. Dr. Eugenio or Scott, whichever.
Yeah, so this, with the different cohorts, we have a cohort A, which is in person Monday, Tuesday, and they're also virtual Thursday and Friday. Wednesday just remains asynchronous, meaning they'll check in. It's independent. It can be independent study, or they'll work on their assignments during the Wednesdays. Cohort B, they will be actually virtual Monday and Tuesday, and they'll be in person on Thursdays and Fridays, and they'll remain asynchronous on Wednesdays, which is independent study. Cohort C is purely virtual, so they will remain at home and study virtually. But as far as Wednesdays, it's asynchronous, and those are independent study.
And can I ask you, these cohorts, they were made up at each school, or were these like a certain category? How were these determined?
They actually were assigned. They weren't allowed to pick per se which cohort they wanted. They were assigned a cohort. We were given the students, if they had were given preference if let's say they have a sibling within the same school, or actually also in a different school in the district. They would remain in the same cohort. So that's how some of the planning was done. Okay. But they did not get to choose.
Okay. Scott, did you want to add something there?
I certainly can. Yeah, Dr. Eugenio he's laid it out perfectly. The other thing that happens on Wednesdays is deep cleaning at the school. So we go through deep clean and disinfect the school sites every Wednesday. So that does take time, and obviously it's much easier to do that when the classes are empty. But
sure,
that's a huge undertaking every Wednesday.
All right, right on.
And it does not, to Sally's point, it does not impact the learning time in the classroom. In fact, we are on the plus side of the learning hours, the educational learning hours for every week in the school year. So we should be, you will be planning to address some learning loss. You hear a lot about that too, but a lot of this will come to the board later in the year.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So it does sound like it's a hybrid model with split up into cohorts, right?
That is
for
correct.
all your school sites. Right on.
Yes.
Ray had a question, please.
I actually just had a comment about the Wednesdays. So the Wednesdays throughout this last 12 months has been used as a training day. So the first hour and a half is training for teachers, because there's so much new technologies. Just for this Monday alone, there were 900 new document cameras that were put into classrooms. You have brand new TVs connected to computers and multiple monitors in every site. And the technology level of staff varies. And so you do a lot of PL, professional learning, every week. Wednesdays are also for teams of teachers to get together. That's when they have their staff meetings. I think one of the reasons the ABC was successful virtually is we had the Wednesdays for the planning, because we looked at other districts around us and in Orange County that were doing 5 days a week, and the curriculum suffered because of what they were doing 5 days a week and not having staff meetings and professional learning on a regular basis. So our teachers' technology in ABC, just their skills in technology has increased dramatically, and we're really going to see that next year. As you know, I don't know what next year is going to look like, but I know that the technology knowledge that teachers and students have gained, and parents have gained over the last 12 months, is going to influence the way regular school is going to be from here on out. And so the Wednesdays have been really critical as a support for teachers and students. Students can still check in. They have tutoring during that time. And they do a virtual check-in with their teachers on Wednesdays, and they have access to their teachers during that day.
Right on. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for that input. Off of those comments, I want to say, I think it's going to be the same way for businesses coming back. Yeah, I was reading an article about how, like in Manhattan, I know we're not in Manhattan, but in Manhattan, they're actually worried about the real estate market because businesses are not going to expect all of their, their workforce to come back in their same numbers. It's going to be a hybrid model. They'll be full-time remote workers. So I think it's definitely going to, it's going to be interesting to see, the fallout from these advances that we've had to make because of a public health crisis. But on that note too, I wanted to plug, my day job. I work IT at a nonprofit. And I would argue that we got even busier during the pandemic. I mean, having to send everybody home on a moment's notice, right? And then making sure that you could work from home, right? That you're connected into your secure system and all that jazz. It's been a lot of work. So, kudos to your IT team. It sounds like you guys are coming out of this in good shape, for your kids. So thanks for that. Cool. So let's see. I'm going to open it to any questions now while I go back to my document here. Any questions? Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask a couple more then. All right. So we've already touched on some of these, but I wanted to ask. Obviously, we're dealing with schools reopening this week, but Dr. Eugenio, as Artesia's trustee, what are your top priorities for I'll say maybe the rest of this year and maybe even for the entirety of your term? What do you hope to accomplish?
My top priority, good question. My top priority is definitely safety of the students. I'm a proponent of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So which states if someone does not feel safe, they cannot flourish. So if we can extrapolate that to the students, if they do not feel safe, then they cannot learn, they cannot flourish. So safety is definitely a top priority for me, whether it's health-wise or even outside factors. This is something that's my top priority, and why I actually signed up for becoming a board member. I want to make sure that students are safe.
Yeah, definitely. So as we sit here today, as maybe the future becomes more clear and we realize, what the risks are moving forward, what does the district have like on its calendar in terms of like engagement events or community events? Is it mostly, I mean, we talked about fundraising. Right now the restaurants are starting to open back up, maybe fundraisers will take off, but I'm trying to say like, in terms of communicating your plan with parents, I mean, is that something that you guys do? I guess, let me step back and say, how are you communicating with parents to get this information out there? I think it's a little bit of Frank's past question. How is the district communicating with folks? What's the primary concern? Yeah.
As far as board members, some of us have held our own town hall meetings.
Okay.
So we've had, I've held one, Ernie has held one as well. And then we've opened that up to questions from our parents, from our students as well. So that's one, how we've also engaged the public.
Yeah, fantastic. That's good to know. Thank you. Go ahead.
The district is also, they've been using text as well. We've been getting mass text messages and also email campaigns from Dr. Sue as well and the district. So that's how they've been communicating with the parents and the students.
Yeah, thanks. I'm curious if I know we're doing this today, but I'm curious if you moving forward do any more of those town halls, if we can get on that list to get that information.
Of course.
So we know that you're doing that. That would be fantastic.
It'll definitely be placed on my Facebook page, Michael Eugenio for ABC, and I can place those on.
Cool. Well, yeah, we got to get people to follow you for sure.
Yeah.
So I want to go a little bit more lighthearted here. What's your best experience been so far serving as board member?
Best experience definitely is meeting new people, attending events just like this, which otherwise, if I did not get elected, I would not have met. There's so many people I would not have been able to speak to, would not have been able to meet. So the best experience thus far, becoming a board member, is meeting new people and sharing ideas and hearing their ideas as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, glad to hear it. Frank, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, Michael, you talked about creating an environment of safety, and in environments, successful environments. And one of the things that I remember as a kid, believe it or not, I can still remember, was field trips to enhance our knowledge about, like I'm going to focus on Artesia. They've got a lot of great history there. But do the students, do they still go on field trips, or are there field trips where they go out to learn different things, history, and about the community, and things of that nature? Is there ways to enhance that in the system or in the programs?
At this point, the field trips have been virtual. So I can also speak for what my wife, she teaches in Paramount School District, and they have actually had virtual field trips. I've also attended some of my daughter's classes, and they've had virtual field trips as well. So it's not typical of what you and I recall, where we actually went to the historic museum, or even with my kids, we went to the historic museum over here in Artesia, and we took those field trips. But as of right now, they're all virtual. They haven't been in person. And hopefully, we'll be able to return to that. We'll see how everything turns out.
Those things were very, very educational. I've been to Teddy Roosevelt's house. Obviously, I'm from back east. I've been to the bed where George Washington slept and all his crew was at. So I've been to a lot of those places. And there's a lot around here. Attending the Artesia, their firehouse, I had an amazing 2-hour tour. And I think all the kids need to go there, because Barbara and her crew are just oozing with, and they love to talk about this stuff, the smiles and just so much stuff coming out of these girls. And they're wanting to see the school kids, because there's just a ton of stuff in there. It's a small building, and you're going, I went, wow, I can't, 2 hours I spent there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
yeah,
Artesia's got a great history.
And I can also speak from my own experience. I'm also a police officer for the state of California over at Exposition Park. And there used to be field trips from different schools every single day. And then when they shut down in late March, it turned into a ghost town. I didn't hear the kids laughing, chasing each other. It's something I definitely missed, and I'm hoping that we can return to that real soon.
Right on. Yeah. So we had another question submitted in the chat by Sally. So her question is, her nephew goes to Carmenita Middle School and says that there's an average 4 to 6 students per class. Is this the typical school experience during this pandemic? She says she's surprised at the lower number of kids in the classroom, lower attendance.
From the 4 schools that I visited before spring break, actually the sample that I took was about 30% are returning. So about 33% from those schools. We'll say there's an average of 750 students at the elementary schools I visited. About 250 are returning. So in some of the cohorts, there's only actually 2 students, and it's something that they're planning around as well.
Okay. So let me ask you: is there a way to view these plans like online? If somebody wanted to read up on them and see a little bit more about them, where would we go to get that information?
You know what? I'll have to look into that as well. You would like to see the plans for each school?
Yeah, I'm just curious if they're like publicly available.
You could find the plans on the district websites. Excuse me, Dr. Eugenio. Yeah, you can find them on the district website, and they have to be prominently posted. So you can see the safety plans. You could see the hybrid model plans. Most everything is under the family tab or the safely reopening school tab.
Cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's valuable.
Thanks so much, Mr. Smith.
All right. And let's see. I'm almost all out of questions, you guys. So you're gonna have to jump in here, or we can just say that this has been a pretty good conversation, at least by my measuring. I think it's been good to get input from all of you here. Hopefully for you, Dr. Eugenio, this has been one of the more enjoyable parts of your time as a board member, meeting these folks. I just hope that, in terms of the chamber, we can start to use it as a tool for more businesses to get engaged with our community leaders. I know business owners have to deal a lot with the city, right? Licensing, things like that. There's a lot already like organically happening there. But maybe there's some room, to work with the school district as well, right? Especially if we can benefit the kids, right? At the end of the day, right? So, all of us here in this virtual room, are not here for ourselves, I don't think. We all want to make this community better. And Artesia, it's a small town, but there's a lot of heart here, right? There's a lot of diversity, right? A lot of perspectives, right? That make it a wonderful place to be. On that note, I mean, I think the city is. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see this. Let me go ahead and admit Daisy. On that note, I wanted to say the city is looking for input on a new motto, right? To that effect, right? I don't know when that meeting is. Maybe you can help me out, Mr. Mayor, in a little bit. Do you know when that meeting's coming up?
You're talking about well, there's two meetings. The meeting that we're inviting, that I sent you the information on, is for the city is receiving some COVID relief money from the federal government, and it's allocated. We're allocating it toward businesses with small grants. So we are asking the chamber to give us some guidance, input, advice on how we can structure the grant process for Artesia businesses. So then you have the other side of the coin, where we are asking for input from the residents and the businesses on our city motto, which is just a submission of information or a possible motto. We're looking to revamp our motto to make it more modern and to fit the growing needs of the community and how it reflects the community, really. So the meeting you're referring to is about the business grants that we're going to be putting forward.
So the motto was more of just like, send us your comments kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks. That's a good opportunity for a plug. I appreciate it. Yeah.
No problem.
But no, I mean, I think the point I'm trying to make here is that, all of us are here trying to make this a better place, right? At least, I know that for the chamber and for the city, and definitely for the district. So I wanted to give Daisy a chance to ask a question. Hi, Daisy. Thanks for coming in. Can you hear us? Daisy? Might be hard to hear. I just wanted to give her a chance to ask a question if she had any.
Mr. Craig, I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
How often does the chamber meet?
Okay, so we have our board of directors meets every month. Yeah, we have one meeting a month to go over all of our normal business, just like you guys do as a board. We have 22 board members. 22 board members, right? So yeah, I think it's hard to get them all in the same place at the same time. But the advantage of that, right, is that we have perspectives from different industries, right? So we have restaurant owners, we have we have people that are in the Cerritos College community, right? We have, people like Frank that are maybe physically outside of the area, but doing business within, right? And then we have You know, we
Yeah.
have the jewelers, right? We have retail boutiques, right? And we have like, I don't think Bindy's on the board, but we have a couple jewelry, retail kind of establishments that can get their words in as well. So we're pretty diverse. We are looking for more diversity all the time. So, every year we send out like an application. Anybody who's interested, with some references can apply to be a board member. Yeah. We also have an executive committee that meets once a month. They kind of sets the direction for the chamber. And then we have various committees like membership and, marketing and things like that, which meet on their own time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, for sure. And if you ever wanted to attend, all you got to do is drop me a line. But we are working on updating our website so that this information is more readily accessible. Yeah, we're going to have a little bit more interactive website. Right now, our main communication has been through email. Right? I've been sending out like bi-weekly email blasts with different news, resources, and grants that I'm coming across. A lot of the grants have been at the county level. LA County's been doing a lot. The state has been doing a lot. And then we're pleased to see that the city, is getting on board with that too, being able to offer, grants to Artesia businesses specifically, hopefully cuts down on the competition, right? Because, I mean, we all know that resources were finite. We're all just competing for finite resources, whether it's vaccine or what have you during this time. So it's been, it's been a challenging time, but we're doing everything virtually. I remember just before this, man, I did my first grand opening as an executive director for Los Cerritos Dental. Mr. Mayor was there. And it was great. It was a great turnout, man. Everyone was jazzed. It was great. They had tacos out the back. It was a party, man. It was a good time. And just for this all to happen, we've all kind of had to change, our mindsets. But like I say, it's good to see your faces. I think for me, I got to learn how to be a little bit more social. I feel like I'm losing some of my social skills. But playing a lot of golf, in the meantime. Just to get out there. But it's been good. It's been a good experience, and I hope that the chamber's in the right direction to build partnerships, because that's what it's about for me. We have to use the chamber as a tool, to get our perspective across, and ultimately get help back where we need it. All right, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to give it
sounds great.
Viviana here. She has her hand up.
Yes. No, I just wanted to introduce myself as well. I know I send Michael lots of emails, but because of COVID, it's hard to, I haven't seen you face to face. So I just wanted to introduce myself. I am the field representative for Assemblywoman Cristina Garcia. And so I cover specifically the cities of Artesia and Cerritos. I try to attend as many, events, whether it's over Zoom or in person, in the community. And so I heard you're going to be sharing your information. So I'm happy to reach out to you. If you ever, want to connect with any state issues, or if you ever have any concerns regarding any bills or any of that sort, or even just community outreach or partnerships that you want to build with our office, I'm happy to connect with you. And so thank you so much for, taking the time to do this today. And Chris, also for putting this together, and the whole Artesia Chamber. I love seeing everyone's faces and connecting. So thank you for today.
Cool,
Thank you,
right
Mr. Thomas.
Thanks. Yeah. And we were just joined by Dr. Wise. Good to see you. Yeah. Are you, help me out here. It's been a while since I've talked to, most everybody at the school district. What's your current position now within ABC?
Hi, Chris. I am currently the director of secondary schools, but I'm familiar with so many faces here because I was a former principal at Gar High School.
Right. I think that's when I knew you and first met you.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on that. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully you're enjoying the work. Yeah.
I absolutely enjoying the challenge of the work.
Yeah. Very
Good
good.
to see you all. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you as well. So we're kind of at the tail end here. I'm just going to leave it up for any last minute questions, or Dr. Eugenio, if you want to take us out with any closing comments or.
And again, I wanted to congratulate all the business owners here in attendance today. Keep plugging along, stay creative. I can't imagine what it's. I was in business pre-COVID, and I can't imagine how you guys are doing things and navigating all these guidelines. So kudos to all the business owners out there. Keep plugging along, keep moving forward, stay strong.
Cool, thanks very much. So with that, I don't know if you want to throw up your information in the chat, or I can email it out to everybody who had registered for this event.
So I'm not the best technologically advanced person. I'm gonna put my cell phone out. It's 562-274-3007. That's my direct.
Cool. And just no middle of the night texts or anything like that, right? Like what are your hours?
Text anytime.
All right, that's very
And
kind
if
of
it's
you.
in the middle of the night, I'll answer it first thing in the morning.
Alrighty, man. Well, we're pleased to have you. Thank you all for attending. I think we'll go on that high note. And I just want to thank again Scott and the staff at ABC for working with us here to put this together. Mr. Mayor, thanks for joining us. Viviana, you guys are fantastic. And we look forward to continuing our partnership and working with you guys. So stay safe out there. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Craig. Good to see you.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye now.
Take care, everybody. God bless.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Daisy.
I can barely hear you. That's why I was like, what the
Oh.
dog? I was doing like this. Anyway, nice to see you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Nice to see you too.